Okie dokie pokey tokey pokey. Welcome to episode. Is it 14 yet or 13? 13?
14.
14? Is it 14?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just think there is a non-zero chance that we will be playing a brand new game within a month today.
You never know.
You never know. It does feel like surely we can finish it today, but I don't know.
The bloody designer went and made it like increasingly difficult to solve puzzles.
God damn it.
God damn it.
But yeah, progressive difficulty the more you get into the game and understand its mechanics. Absolutely outrageous. Right, well, let's maximize the time we've got. Well, everybody just say hello very quickly so people know who's here.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Crack on.
Hello, very quickly.
Hello.
Good, excellent. Where are we? Oh, are we actually in? Okay. We need to go east. Okay, we go east here. Personal apartment. Do. We get the whole Atlantida reveal. And we figured out during the week that the most likely thing is that we need to fire the anagram gun at the rifle that Atlantida is holding, didn't we? Just to bring people up to speed. Which you suggested, both Lee and Rosie suggested that we did that, and I just missed it completely and decided to do something completely different. And so we never actually did it. But I really think all I'm going to do is I'm going to say fire gun at rifle. See what happens. Fire gun at rifle. She sees us moving the gun into position, and our reflexes are slower than hers. She fires again. The pellet hits us cold and hard in the shoulder. It stings like hell, and for a moment I think our clavicle is broken. You put our hand over the wounded spot. Our hand. Atlantida lowers the rifle, surprised. Fuse, she says, isn't that interesting? And so recently too. If the gel rifle won't separate you, nothing will. She smiles, not warmly. Pity. It would have been easier to deal with separately. Cold storage for Andra, house arrest for Alex. Oh, I'm going to repeat it. Maybe we need to see that message. That's a very important message. The gun fires ruggedly into the restoration gel rifle, which shatters and then reforms as an infertile astrologer.
I mean, obviously.
You guys need to unmute to laugh, by the way. There's like no reaction. She's a woman with long grey hair, well past menopause.
I don't see what's funny about that.
I think it's important that astrologers don't reproduce.
It is. Yes. The infertile astrologer falls awkwardly to earth and looks around in confusion. Oh, bravo, says Atlantida. Could you possibly have made a less useful ally? I mean, so she hasn't got the rifle anymore.
Can we look at the astrologer? Maybe they do have some useful information.
Well, I'm gonna try reverting Atlantida. Rub gel on her. We dab a bit on our finger and approach, but she's far too large, far too spry. She catches our wrist and forces us aside. The gel is harmlessly absorbed into her own skin. Oh no, my dear, Atlantida says. They could remake me, but it wouldn't be the same me, would it? It would be some new construct, the Atlantida of today, and that's not the way to a consistent policy, is it? Oh, we need to
What are we actually trying to do?
Trying to get past her, aren't we? And out the.
I think we're trying to get restoration gel on her.
Weren't we trying to try and distract her with balls and coffee and all that kind of stuff?
What?
No.
We could try give ball to Atlantida.
Well, but also, hang on a sec. So we were trying to get gel on her.
Yeah.
We can't put it on our fingers and then rub it on her because she's too strong.
Right.
So therefore, we thought, well, if we got hold of the gun, we
Yep.
could use the gun to do it.
Yes.
We've now got her to. She doesn't have the gun.
Exactly.
Lady. Can we now rub the gel on the lady, which will then create a gun, which we can then pick up and then fire it?
Yes, that's what I was going to try and do. Exactly. Astrologer. The astrologer is still a little too far away to reach. He's moving towards us, though. If we wait, perhaps. Today is a day of revelation, announces the astrologer. Atlantida smiles with half a mouth. You're rather on a difficult day. In the ordinary course of things, I keep things quiet. The spirit of democracy, but none of this wrangling and bribes and corruption and compromise. Blah, 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 blah. This is all a conversation that we had last time. So maybe if we wait, it's obviously trying to play the scene out, and we're trying to shortcut it.
Yeah.
Oh, if you read the last bit, it says the astrologer sidles closer to us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Smiling
So
and
maybe
making
we do
hand
that.
signs. Okay, so now let's try rub gel on astrologer. Splort, the infertile astrologer becomes a restoration gel rifle. Atlantida realizes that the restoration gel rifle is now a couple of meters away from her. She presses a button on something in her hand. Far away, a high-pitched bell rings. Did you have something else you wanted to ask me? I so rarely get to talk with ordinary citizens, only ones with clearance and those about to go into cold storage. A last interview with St. Peter. So get rifle. I could spell it. Jesus.
Pick up that fiffle.
So I guess the guards are about to show up, aren't they?
Get rifle and shoot it at Atlantida. We sidle over and casually pick up the restoration gel rifle as though we were just curious, or maybe had an insatiable urge to tidy up. Okay, so it did the first bit. Fire rifle at Atlantida. Her eyes follow the gesture. Don't you dare, you little traitor, she says. I have been your mother, your father, your waking up and your going to sleep, your teachers and your lovers and your friends. I am the integrity of this island. Change me and you change Atlantis forever. Maybe it's time, I say. Maybe part of the business of democracy is having the arguments. You don't let me finish. You shoot the restoration gel rifle at Atlantida. With an audible splort, Atlantida becomes an Atlantida. It's a sort of shellfish, vaguely like a clam or scallop, but bigger and with different ridges. Okay, should we take it and then go east, or just go east?
Take it.
Get clam. You pick up the Atlantida. It's heavy as a rock because it has been fossilized. There's a distant sound of movement. Someone is looking for us. Go east. Private solarium. A window in the north wall, cut out through the cliff face, gives a view of tranquil sea under a darkening sky. Left on a coffee table, as though waiting for maid service, is a silver tray. On the silver tray are some jacks, a cloth napkin, some crumbs, and a dirty coffee cup. There's an e-book reader on the chaise lounge. This is all stuff that was in the requisition, wasn't it? I think the silver tray might be a reference to leather goddesses as well. That was one of the items that you put through the tea remover. Let's go north, shall we?
Would we look at the ebook reader?
So north, you could do that. You could climb out that window and not look back. It would be faster, easier, unquestionably safer. But what about the people we're leaving behind? What about my father and Professor Higgett? What about the protesters who got arrested today? We'll only know they're safe if we leave this island with a new, improved Atlantida. Someone the Bureau will have to listen to. The one they were afraid of creating. One who will put power back in the hands of citizen referendum. So you tell me how it's going to be. Are you going to stay and see to things?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. We're getting this shit out of Dodge. Okay, right.
I mean,
Okay.
Do we have the monocle on? I guess we don't.
I think we do have it on, don't we? Yeah.
Do we want to look at the stuff on the tray then?
what's our goal now?
Oh, yeah, good idea. Escape the Bureau still. The thing is, if we need to recreate Atlantida, how do we recreate? We need a homonym paddle.
Or some sort of capitalizer device.
Because it's just confusing me because it's all exactly the same letters, right?
Yeah, it's just a capital letter.
Well, okay, I think I had a completely different thought when it said you've got to create a new Atlantida. To me, that was telling us that we need to become Atlantida, not that we need to revert the clan back to Atlantida, which we've just done the other way. That doesn't. Why would
Well,
we
there
wanna-
were clues about that, weren't there? Because you know, she kept saying when we tried to rub gel on her, she said, you know, if you get rid of me, I won't come back as myself. I'll come back as a modern version. And where would the consistency be in policy? So, like, if the implication is if we do recreate Atlantida now, it'll be a modern version with modern sensibilities and a liberal outlook, rather than the the old Atlantida who's basically been a dictator for all this time.
I guess we need to look at the stuff in the room again then. Okay.
I mean, we can look at this stuff. Look at the tray. Just matte enough to give no reflections and stamped with a classical Atlantean pattern of overlapping olive branches and charred leaves. On the silver tray are some jacks, a cloth napkin, some crumbs, and a dirty coffee cup that's empty. Monocle pings happily. Crumbs, I'd guess they come from some sort of pastry roll or a breakfast roll or pastry. The thing is, we know where there's a homonym machine. I think we need to go back out through the portcullis and up to the homonym machine. That's what I think we need to do.
Is the portcullis closed though, because the weight has been removed?
Yeah. So the metal portcullis guards the way back. It's currently lowered. From the pulley above the portcullis hangs a counter. We can't see the weight anywhere.
It made it sound like there was somebody else in there with us. Is that something we're missing?
Well, there were people looking for us, but I think that was coming from the other side of the portcullis. We can restore the astrologer, and we can also create a rump stabber. I don't know if we can get them to help us lift the portcullis.
So do we just need to turn Atlantida back into Atlantida? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. That's
Then don't we need the restoration gel gun again?
No, because we've restored Atlantida back to its original form. We're now at Atlantida Prime. The thing that the actual Atlantida or the Atlantida that we met was made from.
So what would happen if you shot that with the restoration gel rifle?
Nothing.
What about
We could try rubbing gel on it.
Is it jacks plural? Can we turn that into a jack to try to lift the portcullis?
A jack. Oh, you're a genius. Anise and the jacks turn into a jack, a heavy-duty jack suitable for raising cars or other substantial objects. Raise portcullis with jack. Oh. Lift portcullis with jack. Put jack under portcullis. You slip the jack under the portcullis and raise it a few feet, enough for you to slip past.
Nice one.
West. Okay, here's where the weight is. Maybe those noises you heard earlier were nothing. It's quiet now. So this gives us time to go up. Surveillance room.
It's evening. They've probably all gone home.
Yeah.
Bureaucrats.
East to the workshop. You definitely hear footsteps and voices. So we need to move the switch. Set switch to homonym. Homonym. You give the switch a strong twist and turn it into swap homonym. Put clam on dais. Put the Atlantida on the programmable dais. I'm going to save.
Yep.
Pull lever. The programmable dais glows deep red. Almost at once, Atlantida is lying on the surface. She looks very similar to her earlier self, but the differences are there. The eyes are grey now. A tattoo of a writhing squid encircles her left wrist. Her face is younger. She gets to her feet. You'd better leave quickly, she says. I'll make sure your friends get out, but it will be easier if you don't have to explain you as well. You could ask how to fix the fusion.
Ask now then.
The two of us, Alex and Andra, we seem to be stuck together permanently. You don't happen to know how to remove our fusion? She shakes her head. We've never found a way to undo that effect completely, she says. I'm sorry. But try to listen to both your voices. One may be the weaker now, but if you try to kill that self entirely, it tends to cause a severe mental illness. You could ask what Atlantida knows about synthesis. Wait, what do you know about synthesized people? If you don't find out now, will there be a better time? There have been experiments. They didn't end well, though most didn't collapse into a single dominant personality as quickly as you. You've been under unusual stress. There's a brief pause. Hurry, she says. Take the window in the solarium. Climb down the beach. Don't look back.
Okay.
We're in the surveillance room. Oh, Atlantida follows, looking around sharply. Her expression when she sees the computers and television screens is wry, but she doesn't say anything. No time now, perhaps. Surveillance room. Atlantida stands nearby, urging you to hurry out via the private solarium. I think she's enjoying her role as conspiratorial heroine. So we go down. And then east. Someone is coming into the workshop upstairs. There's at most a few seconds before they'll be down the tunnel. East again. The guards are coming down the tunnel right now. You should find a way to delay... Oh.
Yeah, take the jack out.
You run straight into the guards. You are captured and taken away for interrogation. It's some time before Atlantida is able to arrange for our release. That is, that's what would have happened if you had done something so foolish. Shall we suppose you didn't? Yes. Okay. Previous turn undone. We're in the personal apartment again. Get Jack. You take the Jack. The portcullis crashes shut. The portcullis should at least slow down anyone coming after us, though that's only moderately comforting. East to the solarium. From the other room, the noises make it sound as though someone is using a metal torch to dismantle the portcullis bar by bar. And north. We still haven't advanced our score.
No, I mean it must
be
soon.
that's rude.
Yeah.
I feel like we deserve points.
Well, when did we get that 1 point? Because we were 17, weren't we, away?
We did get 1 point, I think, for opening the portcullis.
Oh, okay.
That's just stingy.
1.
Un point. Precarious perch. Oh, sorry. North, you open the tall window. As soon as we're through, Atlantida closes the window behind us and we hear it lock. How did she get through the portcullis? Anyway. No evidence that we came through here now. Maybe she was just walking with us the whole time. Precarious perch. From up here, there's a handsome view of the sea, which isn't so far down, really, but it's a scramble down a nearly sheer cliff for the first bit, until you make it down to the rockfall below, and it would be easy for a careless person to injure herself. It's hard to see through the tall window to the room behind. Mostly it reflects the sea. Okay. Look at the beach. No.
We can go down.
Yeah, we can, but
That's
Well, just need to be careful. It says if a careless.
so restoring Brock is not a solution either. I guess we just try go down, do we?
and then see what happens. If it doesn't let us, then we know we need to do something else.
It's a nasty business lowering ourselves over the edge with little to hold up onto up there, scrabbling around with our toes for good holds, letting go with one hand to descend a little further. Especially with all the absolute, like, enormous amount of debris and detritus we've got hanging from us. But anyway, after some minutes of this painstaking process, the cliff begins to slope outward more, and it's no longer a question of climbing down a face, but rather of scrambling down over boulders. And then, abandoned shore. Oh, look where we are. Our @ sign is right up here. There's a little inlet of shore here. Mostly boulders with little sand, completely cut off from the dock area and sheltered by the curve of the rock, so that it wouldn't be visible from the sea unless someone were very close in. There's a squid in the tidal pools among the boulders. Is that a cue that we could get? Anyway. A bollard is bolted to one of the rocks, which is curious considering the otherwise unused and inaccessible look of the spot. An old but still serviceable kayak is drawn up and firmly shackled to the bollard. Look at the squid. A squid washed into the tidal pool but not damaged. When the tide comes back in, it will be free to go. Monocle pings happily.
And what's our goal now? Haven't we escaped?
We need to escape the island. Or escape the Bureau. We have escaped the Bureau. Still our goal.
Still no points. Still not enough.
No. Look at the bollard. A metal pole painted all-weather green and bolted to a rock. Its ilk are used in more traffic places for securing boats and so on. And indeed, so is this one, despite the implausible setting. So in kayak, a green plastic boat designed to be used by one person with a paddle or oar. It's seaworthy, at least for reasonable distances, and shackled to the bollard for safety.
So do we have an oar?
Oh, yeah.
Or paddle?
Paddle. They're firmly attached and locked with a rusty lock that doesn't look inclined to open again any time this century. I really do compliment you folks' approach to security.
Okay, so I'm unshackling the kayak is obviously the next thing we've got to do.
Okay, it doesn't see the lock. Remove shackles. Remove shackle. No. X. Shackle. Yep. Okay, so we can look at the shackle, but we can't remove it.
Well, we need to turn it into something, don't we?
Just hackle. You can do abstracts, right?
What's a hackle?
Get your hackles up. It's like It's the sort of bits on a mammal that stand up and like make the hair stand up. Like, you know, dogs get their hackles up when they're afraid.
Okay.
Or there's a sky blue cloud and the shackles turn into a hackle, a long feather as from the neck of a giant bird. There's a dismissive blat from the monocle. Okay. Get kayak. It's fixed in place.
In kayak? Oh, we can go north.
You get into the kayak. Now we can go north. It'd be helpful to have something to paddle with.
Surely we can make an oar. What if we?
What have we got?
What are we carrying?
I mean, it's
Well,
probably
there
something.
Something to
I
do
can't
with
be
the
sure
squid.
that we would have carried something all of this way.
It's got to be something to do with the squid.
It's got to be something to do with the squid, yeah.
And what have we got? We've got the remover.
I can remove the S from squid. There's a flash of yellow light, and the squid turns into a quid, a British pound coin with the head of the Queen and everything. This one is a Scottish Thistley variety.
And then if you shoot it with the anagram gun, it will turn into paddle. Bollard has got ore in it.
It has got ore in it.
Get rid of the L, turns into board.
Board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a nice one, actually. Okay.
Get rid of D.
Distinct whiff of raw wood. Bollard turned into a board. Fairly generic plank, sort of pine by the looks of it, though constructed things tend to be a little vague on niceties such as species, and looks like it's designed to be part of a new deck or some such thing. Okay.
Get rid of the D.
Boar, remove the D.
Turns into a boar.
Reset device of D with a distinct whiff of a sweaty animal. The boar turns into a boar. In the old days, they used to hunt these animals, and I can understand the impulse. It's like a pig, but even uglier and bristlier, with long, dangerous-looking tusky teeth coming out of both its top and bottom jaws. The boar gives us a very nasty kind of look, and then, without any provocation, I'm sure starts running right at us, even into the surf. Okay. Remove B from boar. Our hand is less than steady, but you manage to wave the letter remover accurately enough. The boar vanishes with a pop, and an oar falls harmlessly to the ground. It's a light sort of oar, almost a paddle. Still probably not the ideal thing for use with a kayak, but it'll do.
Still no point.
Still no point. Is it glitched? Is this a bug? Okay, let's go north.
Did you take the quid?
Oh, maybe not. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
It's a particular trolley.
Yeah.
sorry. I just moved on before reading it out.
No, never mind.
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna scroll back. Open sea in the kayak. The water stretches in all directions, but you can see off to the north where Slango's yacht is anchored, ready to bring you back aboard. Its metallic blue shape almost blends in with the water. If you were further around the island to the east, you might be able to see bits of the drowned city, both the buildings that were legitimately destroyed when the land sunk into the sea, and the areas where, during the civil dispute of standardization, the authorities dumped unwanted foreign archaeological artifacts. But here, I'm afraid, it's just shellfish and sand down there. Okay, we could go south and get the quid. You've got to try going south. You've got safety in sight just to the north. Don't go all sea crazed on me now. Right, let's go north then. Literally, we're out of the game. We can no longer return to the game. This has got to be the end.
Surely.
Yeah.
The map's changed. Still no points.
Yeah.
You come around to the aft of Slango's yacht and give a good shout. With the help of a ladder and a hand up from Slango himself, you soon have the kayak stored and ourselves and our possessions on deck. Slango gels the rock easily enough, then he and Brock turn the restoration gel on us. Slango is determined to separate you from me before he has a real talk with either of us, and it's not until a number of swipes in that he realizes how wrong things are. This isn't working, he remarks, tossing the gel and washcloth aside. We're fused, you explain, not very coherently. Something happened. I don't know if it can be fixed. Brock looks at us for a long moment, then turns away. He vanishes into the galley. I'm sure he's just gone to get you a cup of tea, Slango says. He takes a deep breath, stands. The tea and Certa specs better be worth what Brock says they are. Please press space to continue. In the rocking boat, with the sound of the motor beneath us, you dream. You dream of a ceremony on a cliff top, with our two families seated looking on, and us in a long white dress carrying a bouquet of Scrabble tiles, walking down an aisle alone to be formally unified with ourselves. Of wearing a suit and meeting with some very rich men to talk about how to bring my language to Africa, and Brock giving us advice about how to handle them. Of gathering all the indigenous languages, all the little dying languages, all the languages shoved aside because they lack linguistic efficacy, into a firefly bottle where their letter forms flicker desperately. 72 hours later, your bunk, aboard the True Macaque.
Oh!
99! Aboard the True Macaque on your bed. Amazing, it's even tinier than my apartment, and the bed isn't even a twin in width. Across from the bed is a built-in bench with portholes above, just at the waterline. Your wardrobe door is firmly closed, which is helpful because otherwise it is tricky walking around in here. The waves lap gently against the side of the ship. Your score has gone up by 15 points and is now 99. Wow. What's our goal
what's our
now?
goal?
What's our goal?
Leave.
Well, to
Well,
separate.
separate ourselves, I'm guessing.
Presumably. Looks like we can go aft or FP. Port side? Front port side? No.
How bizarre to give us 15 points all of a sudden.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose, I mean, in a way, there's been a bit of anxiety because we've been so far behind the 100 we know we need to get that it's felt like we're still a long way from finishing it. But
Yeah.
we're now 1 point from finishing it,
Just one sweet, sweet point.
which could be months.
But apparently, all we've got to do is read the newspaper.
Yeah. Here's what you think you need to do. Check out the paper and see what's going on. Was there a paper? No. I mean, do we open the wardrobe door? Open door. Wardrobe door. You open the wardrobe, revealing a wig, a shred, a bandana, a ring, a pair of British eyes and goggles, a monocle, a backpack, a sundress, a black turtleneck, some trousers, and a swimsuit. Odd patterns of light dance on the ceiling, reflecting through the portholes from outside. Okay. We're empty-handed. What else is here?
Or we can leave the room. I mean, there might be a paper somewhere else.
Sure. We're just checking out, what else is here.
Yeah.
Across from the bed is a built-in bench. Hard and less comfortable than a sofa, but adequate for seating on the rare occasions when a second person comes into your room. Basically, you read on the bed. Bed is homely but familiar. Your bed has 2 drawers, neither are open. Oh, okay, open drawer. The left one. You open the left drawer of your bed, revealing some gas, a clock, a jigsaw, some screws, a shuttle, a poppy, a page, a silver platter, a draft document, a ball, a stuffed octopus, a letter, a roll, guidebook to Telephone Atlantis, a flash drive, and a clipping. You open the right drawer, revealing a word, a paper across, a pass and balm, a shrimp tail, a crumpled cocktail napkin, a key, a screwdriver, a piece, a map of Slangovia, a shopping bag, a jotter, and some financial records. Okay. The yacht rolls gently under the influence of an especially strong wave. I wonder if there's like bonus achievements for picking up every single object in the entire game. We can't go south. We can go aft and foreport from here. Okay.
There is a paper there.
Oh.
Our paper, though, isn't it?
Yes, it's our paper. The page or the paper. We read the paper is blank. It's just a sheet of paper.
Oh yeah, okay.
Let's go aft. Your head aboard the True Macaque. That's the toilet then. All the absolutely required amenities of a bathroom packed into the least possible space. The International Space Station assigns more room to the bathroom functions. Okay. Go forward then.
That's because you can sit on any wall in the International Space Station.
Yes. Okay, it lists everything else. And go FP then. How about we put on some pants first? Okay. What do we... Wear dress? Oh. We've got trousers and a black turtleneck. Okay, let's get the trousers. And... turtleneck. Wear them. Okay. Oh, it only recognizes the first bit, so we put the trousers on. Wear turtleneck. You put on the black turtleneck, it averts attention and is useful on jobs. The galley. Aboard the True Macaque. Smaller than the kitchen in a comfortable house, but carefully and elegantly fitted with an electric stovetop, a convection oven, microwave, tiny refrigerator, a sink. Enough, in short, to serve the crew of 3 on long trips. I guess even a fairly big boat is still small on the inside, eh? There's even a little washing machine for items too big to hand wash in the sink. On the built-in table, there are a newspaper and a pan. On the port wall, built-in shelves hold a battered selection of games. Okay. Let's look at the paper then. Contains a memo dated to May of 1983. Attention, it says, due to subversive counter-propaganda altering the abstract concept, Subject A must no longer be gelled after use, since reconstructing her may produce anomalous results. She will from now on be housed in a continuous living state in the historic apartments. Okay. Is that the newspaper that said that?
No, I think that's the other paper. That's...
Yeah. Have we read that before? Because it wouldn't have made much sense to us. Let's look at the newspaper. It's the Charred Farmers Daily from Atlantis. A huge headline is splashed across the front. Referendum announced! The picture on the front shows the Atlantida statue decked out with lights like a Christmas tree and people posing next to her for pictures. My father has been promoted, apparently, to something called the Provisional Committee for Orthographic Reform. He is quoted as saying that the amnesty for cold storage prisoners is an important step forward. Of course, government by citizen referendum brings its own problems, and further constitutional work may be needed if we mean to bring Atlantis in line with the European Union. Brock comes down and hands us a coffee. You look like you could use this. We've hit Mallorca, he says. Slango's in town resupplying. I guess you saw the paper? You nod. One for the history books, he says, with a crooked smile. They're showing satellite clips. Big olive garland on the depluralizing tank. People dancing on cars. Some old guy belting out La Marseillaise in the Bureau Rotunda. Brock sits down opposite us. In other news, he remarks, it looks like your cut of the T-inserter plans, with all the tests we ran, is going to come out to this. He writes a number. The number has 6 zeros. He leans back and looks at us. So, where do we go from here? The end. In that
Woo!
Hooray!
Enemy of the state we are.
Mm.
In that game, you scored 99 out of a possible 100 in 1,006 turns, earning you the rank of Enemy of the State. Achievement accomplished, the Alex Rosehip Award for completing the game in easy mode.
Easy mode.
Oh, don't do that to us.
What?
Would you like to restart, restore a save game, quit, undo, reveal what achievements you have yet to accomplish, or learn about some of the sources used in creating this game?
Well, we thought that using the letter remover on every letter was obviously one, wasn't it?
Yes, we did. I mean, I don't know if we want to do that or whether any of us fancy diving back in.
I'd like to see because I
No.
don't want to play it again, but it's already rubbing our noses in it, telling us that we've managed to complete it on easy mode. And
Shall we have a look at the achievements?
Well, it does make me wonder whether we had a choice.
Yeah, I don't remember there being a choice at the beginning.
No.
no, I just wonder whether it's one of those things. If we now look at the achievements, it will tell us that, to do it in hard mode, you need to do blah, which we couldn't possibly have known until you play it through the first time.
Maybe, but if there was an option, and maybe like not documented in the tutorial of the game, or maybe we just missed it, but if there was an option to play it in hard mode, would we have rather played it in hard mode? Which means that we might still be scratching our heads. Or would we have actually had a better time? Because I think most of us felt like it was a bit easy. The puzzles weren't really hard enough compared with the amount of reading that we had to do.
Maybe the hard mode is only available now that we've completed it.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never known a text adventure to be replayable. I mean, I guess the achievements mean that it probably is. Well, let's have a look then.
It's kind of like tutorial mode kicked us into easy mode because we got the grey hints all the way through.
Yeah.
I also wonder whether it might be something like you've got to complete it without ever, I'm going to say dying, without ever doing something that said, but of course you don't do that.
True. It could also be that we played it on a triggered time advance. It's possible that hard mode is turn limited. Maybe, but let's have a look. These achievements you have yet to accomplish, so it does expect you to replay it. The Admiral Thoreau Award for removing every letter of the alphabet in one playthrough. The Amanda Waterstone Award for discovering cultic passages. The Andra Award for completing the game in hard mode. The Camilla Downdweller Award for creating 5 types of fish in one playthrough.
We did wonder about some of those.
We did create some fish, didn't we? The Finn Rosehip Award for gnu hunting. The Horace Fingerstain Award for jotting some notes. We never used the jotter. Oh my god, the Igor Rosehip Award for creating at least 5 body parts in one playthrough. I mean, we could have done that. I think I identified the body parts. The Jocasta Higgett Award for reconstructing pagan worship on the island. Ooh.
What?
So all of that pagan worship stuff, like the shrine and the writing in the church and there's a whole bunch of pagan stuff that predates Atlantis, isn't there? That we kind of thought was interesting, but just colour. You can reconstruct pagan worship somehow. The Lester Parsons Award for discovering unspecified local rites. The Lord Michael Rosehip Award for showing the black spot to a pirate crew. The Lucius Quagmire Award. What?
There was a crew, because the screw, when we tried to turn the screw into...
Oh yeah, there was a crew. I wonder how you get the black spot. The Lucius Quagmire Award for viewing unusual films. The Mort Shapley Award for showing Poe a raven-based foodstuff. We never created Poe. The Priscilla Parsons Award for winning the game without ever entering the church. The Reverend Place Award for placing the cross on the altar while liturgically dressed. The Roman Sticky Fingerstain Award for impromptu art theft.
Wow.
Weirdly, of course, we've still got some other exits that we could go, but we finished the game because we've read the newspaper. So there's other places that we could have gone to before we read the newspaper, finish the game. But I don't know whether our final point is located there.
What does it say our goal is now?
Oh. We can't. We can only
Right.
use the things that are in that paragraph.
Can we undo that last move and then try to go to the other places?
Oh, can we? Yeah. Okay, let's go up. Okay, yeah. Navigation area aboard the True Macaque. A command chair waits at the controls. A mass of buttons and levers and a tiny low-mounted steering wheel that seems like an awfully small device to control such a high-powered machine. But I'll take your word that it works. The galley is just below, down a steep staircase that is almost a ladder. Go forward from here. Foredeck. Here the yacht is nothing but a nose over the water. A hatch hardly big enough for a portly person descends into the so-called crew cabin. Down. It was meant to be mine before we turned out to be inseparable. It's Spartan, but I didn't pay for expensive accommodations. Oh, yes, and I can understand that it must be a bother for you to give up the storage space. I'm fascinated to note what shape a bed can be when it's not rectangular, more sort of curved and tapering. Convenient if you're called on to house a mermaid. Okay.
I mean, of course, what this does mean is that we could now go back into our room where we've got lots and lots of stuff.
Try and make fish.
Or whatever, but yeah.
I suspect if you really wanted to have a crack at the achievements, you'd start the game again. And
Yeah, I do too.
there's probably like there's probably a run where you get all the achievements and everything.
Well, no, there can't be. Because one of the achievements is finish the game without going into the church. And
the other one is putting the cross there. That's
cross
true.
On the altar.
Yeah, there's also an achievement for easy mode and an achievement for hard mode. So yeah, you'd have to do multiple runs. Okay, let's go. Slango's bunk. Just as tiny as yours, with a bed narrower than a standard twin and its own miniature head, and drawers cunningly fitted under the bed to hold clothing and other necessities. Slango's head. All the absolutely required amenities of a bathroom packed into the least possible space. Okay, so that's Slango's stuff on that side. And then forward from here, presumably, from the galley, is Brock's stateroom. Bigger than your bunk or Slango's, Brock's space takes the whole width of the yacht here, with windows out both sides and a double bed. The shape of the hull in this part of the yacht means that the room is much narrower fore than aft, the walls sweeping grandly outward from the head of Brock's bed. It looks like the bed of Captain Horndog's Space Womanizer, if you ask me. You can see a tub of restoration gel here. You can also see an anagramming gun, some origin paste, and your bee remover here. Oh, so those are all your stuff to manipulate things with. And then the last place is Brock's head, I guess. Brock's head. Brock has gotten the best accommodations in this respect as well. His bathroom is less cramped than the others aboard, and the mirror is bigger. Look at the mirror. Okay. It's gleaming and shiny and very clean, and I don't want to look in it. That's it, guys. We've done it. We've completed Counterfeit Monkey. And it's taken us 14 episodes. So,
On easy mode.
on easy mode. Well, it was never hard. Like the duration was not of, because we were stumped, generally. It was just because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
It's so different. It's so different to, old style text adventures. Much closer to collaboratively reading a novel. So the story is like loads more important, whereas in games the story is kind of less important than the game. So I think for the next one we should go right back.
Yeah.
We go old school.
Which is something that only has 48k, so it can't go on and on and on.
Yes,
Exactly.
14 weeks.
Yeah. You try telling that to Elite.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to play a procedurally generated adventure game, but
I mean, that would be an achievement.
yeah.
To build, not to play, maybe.
Let's play Rogue. No.
Yeah, but yeah, it would be good to play something where, well, I mean, obviously at various points in Ballyhoo, we had the opposite problem where there was so little information. We're trying to figure out, what there is to do. You sat stuck in a room with no description and no objects and characters that you can't really interact with because they always say the same thing. But it's a different challenge. But yeah, I think I think I wouldn't obviously, in the same way that the ones we've played already aren't representative of the entire genre. I wouldn't say that this is representative of modern interactive fiction either. I think it's held up as an incredible game and an incredible example of the genre because it is, it's maybe among the most epic attempts to do something genuinely, new and original with the genre. So, and obviously the fact that it's got so much replayability and there's so much to be discovered that we obviously didn't. But I think again, like it's a hard thing. It's a hard type of mechanic to play with a group of people. I think going for all those achievements is a very individualistic thing, and of course, it was designed for single players, not for groups.
Chris, and it kind of gives a reason why there were so many objects we didn't use, because you would need those objects to be able to get the achievements.
Yeah.
Like the asparagus and the lime and the
yeah, that's very true. And obviously, I mean, there's a lot of mental, creative effort has gone into this game to create all of these different objects and to realize that you can make an ore out of a bollard and all of the other things, but then also to deal with the consequences of that and in every situation, especially when we're in the main part of the game world, how all of these objects can be used for all of these other things. So yeah, in a way, it's almost a shame to read through all of the achievements, rather than go and discover them. Obviously, we're not going to do that. I don't think any of us are incentivized to go and do it. And I doubt if I'm going to spend the time to go and do it. But it's amazing to see how many achievements there are. And I think I hope there are some players out there that really did decide to go and explore and try out everything and actually got the satisfaction of uncovering the achievements without having read the list of them at the end of the game.
I mean, that would be some going. Some of those are so obscure, aren't they?
Yeah. I guess what we never did is cluster stuff. We noticed that there was a lot of body parts. We noticed that there's a lot of people. There's like loads of people to liberate. you know, it's always been at the back of my mind that there's a Tom stuck in the tome in the church gift shop that we never got out, and there's a few other names as well. And possibly Ove, who's stuck in a dove at the bus station. Yeah, so there's a bunch of loose ends. Like if you really go back and think through what we've found and what we now know, there's a lot of threads to pull on. So yeah, I'm sure somebody uncovered them all.
I
there
think
we go.
it'll be a very different game if you replayed it, because
Yeah,
you know, if any of us did it, we'd have a very different mindset.
I mean, now we know that we can kind of restore pagan rituals somehow. I don't even know where we'd start, or you know, what we'd do. So yeah, maybe we'll go and cheat and go and have a look at some walkthroughs, find some things out. But congratulations, it's the end. We've done it.
Hey.
14 weeks.
Hey.
Yay.
3.5 months. 3.5 months of playing the same game every Monday evening. So yeah, I mean, we'll have a chat about what we're going to play next and try a few things out. And we'll let people know. We'll probably might put a little video up in advance of the game next week, just to let people know what it is that we've chosen, and put it out on YouTube and Blue Sky once we've all decided what we're going to do. And start a new chapter and a whole new series, a new playlist next Monday. Is everybody still up for that?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, still stuck with us.
Or do you want a break?
And it will actually be lunchtime next week.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
It's this Saturday, Sunday they change it.
It's weird. It's normally only a week apart. I don't know why it's been so different this year.
Yeah, you changed like 3 weeks before we did.
Yeah. Weird.
Very odd. But normality will be restored. All right. Cheers, everybody. Congratulations.
See you next
Well done.
week.
See you next
Cheers.
week.
Bye.
Bye.